But see here, we will discuss about the different types of motion and the
Okay.
now see here, beta. We are going to discuss about
Yes, sir.
different types of motion on the basis of graph. See here, beta. When we are drawing the graph, this is y-axis and this is x-axis. See here, beta. If any graph is there, graph may start from here also, from the origin also, or from anywhere like this. See here in all the three graphs, what you are observing, this is called slope, and slope is what? This is theta. P upon V, tan theta is called slope. That is the rate of change of physical quantity along y-axis. Delta y, change in physical quantity along y-axis with respect to x-axis. Delta x. But as here, this slope is not changing, it is fixed. So we say that the variation of physical quantity along y-axis with respect to x-axis is always remain same. And so we can say that the slope remain constant. Slope remain constant. But a similarly here and here also takes place. But see here, if you see the graph like this, but you if you draw tangent everywhere, the direction of this tangent, you know this angle, theta, tan theta. Tan theta initially in the beginning was very small, theta 1 was very small, theta 2 is again increasing, and theta is goes on, theta 3 is again more than theta 2. It means we can say that the value of tan theta is increasing, we can see that the slope is increasing. Slope is increasing. But still the angle is acute. So beta we can say that the slope remain positive but increasing. But increasing. But if you see about this graph, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. Yes, beta, tell me whether the slope is decreasing or increasing. In this case, third case,
Sir,
yes.
it's uh, decreasing.
Decreasing, yes, beta. Initially in the beginning, the slope is like this. This is the angle. And again draw tangent here. This is theta 2. Here the tangent will be like this. This is theta 3. So we can say that slope is decreasing. Slope is decreasing. But it still remain positive. Why? Because this angle is what? Acute angle. Acute angle. And this goes on increasing. Now what can you say about this angle? This slope is negative or positive? Tell me about this slope. This is uniform. बेटा ये स्लोप आपको क्या दिख रहा है बेटा? Slope is uniform but negative. But this is negative slope. Why? Because the angle made with the positive x-axis is greater than 90 degree, and we can see that the slope of this graph is positive. Whereas in this case, the slope was positive. Here, slope is negative. Here, the slope is negative, but uniform, and this is non-uniform. But initially in the beginning, the slope is more steeper. Now the slope is decreasing. Slope is decreasing, but the slope is negative. Why? Because through this slope, if we want to climb down, then we can, it is possible. So with such kind of slope, we can climb down, because on this axis, there is axis there. If time is there, then we can say that as the time is increasing, the slope comes down. That is the slope is negative. बेटा यहाँ देखिए, यहाँ slope negative है, यहाँ भी slope negative है, but ये this slope is uniform and here the slope is non-uniform because the angle with the y-axis in the beginning, this is what clockwise and this is what anti-clockwise with the y-axis. This is positive slope and with the positive x-axis, the angle made is clockwise. Clockwise. But this angle goes on decreasing. So we can say that this slope is negative. But the rate of slope is decreasing. This is negative slope, but this is decreasing slope. This is decreasing slope. Now see here beta, इसके बेस पर हम क्या बोल सकते हैं? We can categorize the different types of motion. देखिए, जैसे कि हमने बोला displacement upon time. What is displacement upon time? Beta, which physical quantity? We know rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Which physical quantity is known as rate of change of displacement with respect to time? This is what? Velocity. Velocity is rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Displacement upon time is velocity. So see here, beta, if graph is like this is uniform velocity. This is what? Uniform velocity. Beta, what can you see about this? What kind of graph is this? Displacement upon time. What is the type of motion? What is the slope? Beta, plane surface. For plane surface, slope is 0. With the x-axis, the angle is what? 0. So slope is 0. So this is the graph of zero velocity. Zero velocity. Or if the body is at, or we can say that body is at rest. Body is at rest. But can you find out if this is the graph of uniform velocity? Uniform velocity. Now, this is what? This is 5 seconds. Time is taken in second, and the displacement is 20 meters. What is the velocity of the body? Velocity change in displacement upon. What is the velocity of the body from this graph? बेटा देखिए इस ग्राफ में what you have seen, बेटा displacement, change in displacement upon time. Beta, with in this graph, the initial displacement is 0 and at time 5 seconds, the displacement is 20. So the change in displacement is 20 minus 0, 20. And this is 0 time, this is 5 seconds. The change in displacement occur from here to here. Total displacement is this, which is, and total time is 5 seconds. Meter upon second. 4 meter per second. Now you are getting?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Better you just tell me. This is the second case. What is the displacement of the body? What is the velocity of the body? Yes, but the time is in second and displacement is in meter. Yes. What is the velocity of the body in second case?
So 20 minus 5.
But once again think.
20 divided by 5.
But see here, such kind of problem. Definitely, this is the graph of velocity because displacement upon time, velocity. What is the final displacement minus initial displacement? Final time minus initial time. In this graph, what is the final time?
5.
5. But final time is 5. Final time is 5.
5.
What is the initial time?
0.
0. What is the final displacement at 5 seconds? What is the where the graph is? Where the graph can? Yeah. At 5 seconds, what is the displacement?
Minus 20.
Minus 20. Final. Minus initial. At 0 second, where is the graph?
20.
तो बेटा आंसर क्या आया?
So 40. Sir, 0. No, sir.
बेटा आंसर is minus 40 upon 5. But see,
Yes, sir.
slope is negative. Minus 20, minus 20,
Sir, 8.
minus 8. Beta, tell me minus 8 meter per second. Slope is negative. So velocity cannot be 0. It is minus 8. Are you getting? No.
Yes, sir.
Now you know that acceleration is equals to what? Acceleration is equal to change in velocity. Rate of change of velocity with respect to time. See here, two things is there. If you see the graph, if you see this on y-axis, velocity is there. On x-axis, time is there. On x-axis, see, if the graph is like this, then definitely the slope represent what? Acceleration. Slope represent acceleration. But if the graph is like this, is time is 5 seconds and velocity is 20. But what is the acceleration? Meter per second is the velocity and unit of time is second. What is the acceleration of the body? Change in velocity. Final velocity minus initial velocity. Time final minus time initial. But what is the time final? 5. What is the initial time? 0. At 5 seconds, what is the velocity? 20. And at time, what is the velocity? Origin, 0. 20 by 5. That is 4 meter per second square. Now, from this graph, if it is asked to you, determine the displacement of the body. Determine the displacement of the body. Velocity and but see, velocity is equal to the rate of change of displacement upon time. But displacement is equal to velocity into time. बेटा होता ही नहीं होता है, होता है ना? तो बेटा
Yes, sir.
देखो,
Yes.
if the graph of velocity is on time is given, if you find the slope, change in velocity upon change in time, that is tan theta of slope, that is slope represent acceleration. But if you find the area, if you find the area below the velocity time graph, then it represent what? It represent, बेटा देखिए अगर velocity बेटा constant, कांस्टेंट रहता, और ये आप 5 सेकंड तक इसी वेलोसिटी से मूव करते। वेलोसिटी अगर कांस्टेंट रहता है बेटा, और 5 सेकंड तक 20 पर सेकंड से ही आप मूव करते हैं, तो बेटा डिस्प्लेसमेंट तो बहुत आसान हो गया। 20 इंटू 5, ग्राफ ऐसा नहीं होता बेटा। 20 इंटू 5 में 20 मिनट, तो 5 सेकंड में 100 मीटर, 5 सेकंड में 100 मीटर। बेटा सी है 20 ये बेटा ब्रेथ इंटू लेंथ 5, 20 इंटू 5, ये ग्राफ के नीचे का एरिया हो जाता बेटा। बट बेटा यहाँ condition is something different. What is given here? The graph is like this. This is 5 seconds and the velocity is 20. Now how you can determine the area? Beta, you have to determine the area below the graph. Area below the graph, because if you see a very small time interval, during this time interval, the velocity of the body is this. We can count. So length into breadth. This rectangle represents area. So similarly, if goes on taking the area of such strength, we can determine the area of, if it goes on determining the area of each rectangles, then if we sum up all this area, we will get the area of the triangle, that is area below the graph. तो बेटा आपको क्या करना है, if you have given velocity time graph and you are asked to find out the displacement moved by the body, then बेटा ग्राफ के नीचे का एरिया आपको निकालना है। अब ये ग्राफ के नीचे का एरिया तो ट्रायंगल दिख रहा है बेटा, डिस्प्लेसमेंट मूव बाय द बॉडी क्या होगा बेटा, हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट। बेटा बेस क्या हो गया बेटा 5 सेकेंड, और हाइट क्या हो गया बेटा 20, दैट इज 15 मीटर डिस्प्लेसमेंट हो गया। डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज 15 मीटर। व्हाट इज द डिस्प्लेसमेंट, आर यू गेटिंग बेटा? इफ velocity time graph is given, then area below the velocity time graph will be equals to displacement moved by the body, is equal to displacement moved by the body. But is this clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
But beta, if question is given to you like this, बेटा ग्राफ ऐसा है, ये वेलोसिटी है एंड बेटा दिस इज टाइम। Velocity is in meter per second. Yes, beta. What is the total distance and net displacement of the body? First tell me, first so many questions are there. Here velocity is in meter per second. First question is there. Acceleration between time 30, between time, this is time 1, 2, no, this 4, 8, 12. Determine the acceleration between time 4 to 12 second. 4 to 12 second. Determine total distance. Or determine net displacement. Determine displacement of the body. Displacement of the body in, first point है in 0 to 8 seconds. B 8 to 12 seconds, and C 0 to 12 सेकेंड। बेटा कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? ग्राफ ऐसा है बेटा, देखिए टाइम एक्सिस के ऊपर वेलोसिटी इज पॉजिटिव and below the time axis what is given here, what is shown here, the velocity is negative. Beta, what you are observing after 8 seconds, beta, after 8 seconds, before 8 seconds the value of velocity remain positive because the graph is above the time axis, that is velocity remain positive. But after 8 seconds that velocity become negative, so the displacement is negative. Whole this area represent negative displacement, and above this time axis the velocity is what? Positive. So therefore this displacement is what? Positive, and this displacement is negative. But beta, distance is the total sum of this area plus this area. Distance cannot be negative because distance is a scalar quantity. Are you getting better? बेटा see here 8 सेकेंड बेटा देखिए वेलोसिटी, इसके बाद देखिए इसके बाद ग्राफ यहाँ नेगेटिव हो गया, और ज्यादा बढ़े बेटा और नेगेटिव हो गया, और ज्यादा बढ़े और नेगेटिव। 8 सेकंड के बाद जैसे हुआ ग्राफ तो नेगेटिव में आ गया, इट मींस द वेलोसिटी बिकम्स नेगेटिव। तो बेटा एज द वेलोसिटी बिकम नेगेटिव द डिस्प्लेसमेंट बिकम्स नेगेटिव। चलो बेटा अब बताइए एक्सेलरेशन। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज द एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ द बॉडी बिटवीन 4 to 8 सेकंड? एक्सेलरेशन इज इक्वल टू चेंज इन वेलोसिटी 4 to 8 सेकंड, फाइनल वेलोसिटी माइनस इनिशियल वेलोसिटी, final time minus initial time. Yes beta, between 4 to 8 second, final time is 4 to 12 second, 4 to 12. What is the final time? 12. What is the initial time? 4. At 12 second, what is the velocity of the body?
-20.
Minus 20. At 4 second, what is the velocity of the body? At 4 second, what is the velocity?
30.
30. So what is the acceleration? Minus 50 upon 8. Minus 50 upon 8. That is minus 6.25 meter per second square. Getting or not? But it is clear to you?
Yes.
Now.
Yes. Yes.
Part. What is the determine the total distance moved by the body? What is the total distance? Distance is not a vector quantity. This is a scalar quantity. So beta, you have to determine the total area below the graph. Total area below the graph is the area of this triangle plus area of this triangle. So what is the area of distance moved by the body? Area of this triangle. Beta, like A, B, C, D, E is equals to area of triangle ABC plus area of triangle, बेटा इस ट्रायंगल का नाम CDE, CDE। बेटा ये क्या हो गया? ये हाफ इंटू बेस, बेटा ये बेस क्या है? 8 इंटू हाइट क्या है बेटा? जल्दी बताइए। 30 हो गया बेटा, प्लस इसका भी हाफ कॉमन यही ले लिया बेटा। बेस, इसका बेस क्या है बेटा? 12। नो 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 बेटा, 8 से 12 4 हो गए, और हाइट क्या हो गया बेटा? डिस्टेंस में ये सारा पॉजिटिव लेंगे, ये क्या हो गया बेटा? 20। -20 नहीं लेंगे बेटा। हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट, हाफ इंटू हाफ कॉमन ले लिया बेटा। ट्रायंगल का एरिया हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट, दोनों में हाफ कॉमन ले लिया। बेस इंटू हाइट, बेस इंटू हाइट, बेस 8 से 12 4 और ये 20। बेटा ये स्केलर क्वांटिटी है डिस्टेंस, तो डिस्टेंस में ये निगेटिव हम लोग नहीं लेते। डिस्टेंस इज स्केलर क्वांटिटी ना बेटा। Third question, determine the displacement of the body from 0 to 8 second. 0 to 8 second, the displacement is positive. Displacement is positive. Third question, third part of the question. Question number third. A part. Displacement of the body from 0 to 8 second. Half into base into height. 30. What is the answer? 120 meters. Beta B part. Tell me the answer. Yes, B part. 8 to 12 second.
What, sir?
Determine the displacement of the body from 8 to between time 8 to 12 second. This part B. You have to determine the displacement of the body between time 8 to 12 second. So 8 to 12. This, below the graph. Half into base. What is base here? 8 to 12.
Yes, sir.
4. बेटा देखिए 8 से 12 सेकंड के बीच में आपको इस ये ग्राफ देखिए 8 सेकंड के बाद तो ग्राफ इधर चलाया 8 से 12 सेकंड में बेटा आप देखिए ग्राफ ऐसे चलाया और ग्राफ में वेलोसिटी में चेंज 0 से -20 हो गया बेटा यहां देखिए 8 से 12 सेकंड के बाद ग्राफ ये आया ग्राफ के नीचे का एरिया ये ट्रायंगल हुआ अब बेटा इसका बेस हो गया 8 से 12 बेस हो गया 4 और हाइट हो गया -20 देखो यहां से यहां तक आया ना -20 हुआ ना मैंने क्या बताया बेटा
Yes, sir.
जो ग्राफ टाइम एक्सिस के नीचे हो इट मींस वेलोसिटी बेटा टाइम एक्सिस के नीचे हो गया वेलोसिटी क्या हो गया नेगेटिव और जब वेलोसिटी नेगेटिव द डिस्प्लेसमेंट बिकम्स नेगेटिव डिस्प्लेसमेंट नेगेटिव अब देखिए बेटा इस ग्राफ
Negative.
हाफ इनटू बेस बेस क्या हो गया बेटा 8 से 12 सेकंड से 4 हो गया बेटा हाइट देखिए हाइट बेटा नीचे आ गया ये नेगेटिव आ गया -20 बेटा ये डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या हो गया बेटा नेगेटिव हो गया -40 मीटर आ गया बेटा displacement in second case is in first case displacement was 120 meter in second case the displacement was in second case the displacement was -40 क्यों आया -40 तो बेटा टोटल नेट डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या हो गया बेटा 0 से 12 पार्ट बोला गया तो बेटा ये डिस्प्लेसमेंट पॉजिटिव आया और ये डिस्प्लेसमेंट नेगेटिव आया सी का सॉल्यूशन कैसे होगा बेटा इस पार्ट का टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट द टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट फ्रॉम 0 to 8 सेकंड इज 120 प्लस नो माइनस करेंगे बेटा बिकॉज डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज नेगेटिव सो दिस डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज -40 so answer is 80 meter answer here beta once again from 0 to 8 second the velocity remain positive after 8 second the velocity becomes negative so that's why displacement is negative in this case from 8 to 12 second the velocity remain negative velocity remain
Negative.
that's why displacement
Negative.
is negative. So what is total distance? We have to determine what? No. What is the total displacement? Displacement is what? Displacement क्या है बेटा? Vector quantity. Displacement
Vector quantity.
vector quantity है.
Vector quantity.
तो vector quantity में डायरेक्शन है बेटा. ये पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं बेटा. तब तक पॉजिटिव है. ठीक है बेटा तो ये डिस्प्लेसमेंट पॉजिटिव हो गया अब नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन में नेगेटिव वेलोसिटी हो गया बेटा 8 सेकंड के बाद नेगेटिव वेलोसिटी तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट भी नेगेटिव हो गया बेटा ये बोल रहा है कि 0 से 12 सेकंड में टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या हुआ तो 0 से 8 में तो मालूम है +120 मीटर आया प्लस 120 मीटर आया, और 8 के बाद माइनस 40 मीटर आया। तो नेट डिस्प्लेसमेंट 120 माइनस 40 दैट इज 80 मीटर। बेटा यही आता है टोटल डिस्टेंस। तो टोटल डिस्टेंस क्या हो गया बेटा, ये ग्राफ का एरिया प्लस ये ग्राफ का एरिया, 120 प्लस 40 दैट इज आ जाता 160 मीटर total distance moved by the body. The total distance moved by the body is what? 160 मीटर। बेटा इन दोनों को जोड़िए और यहाँ यह पहले वाला सॉल्व कीजिए, दोनों का ग्राफ का एरिया। बेटा 160 मीटर आ गया टोटल डिस्टेंस। नेट डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या आ गया बेटा, 80 मीटर। नो you are getting such type of problem or not? Yes beta.
Yes, sir, I'm getting.
Okay. देखिए बेटा अभी एक तो पीएमटी में एक क्वेश्चन आया हुआ था नेट वाले एग्जाम में, उसे मैं डिस्कस कर रहा हूं बेटा। नेट के ही एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन आया हुआ था। ये ग्राफ है बेटा, और ग्राफ इस तरह से बना, ये टाइम एक्सिस है, ये टोटल टाइम है टी, इस एक्सिस पर वेलोसिटी है बेटा। बेटा क्वेश्चन क्या दिया हुआ, इफ अ बॉडी स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम, इफ अ बॉडी स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम रेस्ट, स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम रेस्ट, यानी कि वो रुका हुआ था, उसके बाद बॉडी ने अपना मोशन स्टार्ट किया, एंड the body accelerates uniformly. For time t1. बेटा टाइम t1 तक उसने एक्सेलरेट किया for certain time. बेटा ये दिया accelerate uniformly and after attaining maximum speed, and after attaining maximum speed, attaining maximum speed, the accelerate uniformly अल्फा विद एक्सेलरेशन अल्फा। बेटा ये दिया हुआ विद एक्सेलरेशन अल्फा, यानी कि अल्फा एक्सेलरेशन से एक्सेलरेट किया, एंड आफ्टर अटेनिंग मैक्सिमम स्पीड द बॉडी रिटार्ड्स with acceleration beta, with acceleration beta, and finally comes to rest, and finally comes to rest। इसके बाद ये क्या दिया हुआ है, फाइनली बेटा यहां से क्या निकालना है बेटा, उसको फाइंड फर्स्ट मैक्सिमम स्पीड, मैक्सिमम निकालना है, दूसरा निकालना है total distance moved by the body, total distance moved by the body। But as here you have to find maximum speed in terms of alpha, beta, and t, because only these conditions are given here. Alpha, beta, and t. What is the condition here? Alpha, beta, and total. What is alpha? The body starts from rest and accelerates uniformly with acceleration alpha. And after this, it retards because your y's beta sign is there, because you know the slope of velocity time graph is called acceleration. So alpha is the acceleration and beta is the retardation. Now beta, how you can define the alpha and beta are the acceleration given. How you can determine the maximum velocity and distance moved by the body? Beta, see here. How you can solve such type of problem? बेटा देखिए यहाँ पर बहुत आसान है ऐसे प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना. बेटा आपको अभी हमने बताया हुआ था, ये हो गया मैक्सिमम वेलोसिटी. बेटा इसे भी मैक्सिमम मान लेंगे जो आपको निकालना है. बेटा भी मैक्सिमम मान लिया. बेटा ये पहला जो टाइम ऑफ जर्नी है यहाँ से यहाँ t1 मान लीजिए. यहाँ टोटल समय क्या लगा बेटा? t1. और यहां से यहां जो टाइम है टोटल टाइम है t2. मान सकते हैं कि नहीं बेटा?
Yes, sir.
तो बेटा t1 प्लस t2 की वैल्यू है t. ये गिवन है बेटा, t गिवन है.
Yes, sir.
बेटा पहले बताइए तो इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन 4 टाइम t1. अच्छा 4 टाइम t1. Yes beta, I will explain this one. Now see here beta, for time interval according to the formula v is equals to u plus at from 0 to time t. What is the final velocity? V maximum. What is the initial velocity? Beta the body starts from rest, the initial velocity is 0 plus what is the acceleration? Alpha. And what is the time? t1. So t1 can be written as v maximum upon alpha. Beta for time t2, for time interval t2. For time interval t2, what is the final velocity? 0. फाइनल वेलोसिटी 0. बेटा फॉर टाइम इंटरवल t2 आप देखिए ये ग्राफ यहां से चला है. व्हाट इज द इनिशियल वेलोसिटी? बेटा v मैक्सिमम. बेटा इनिशियल वेलोसिटी क्या इस फार्मूला में? v is equals to u plus at में व्हाट इज द इनिशियल वेलोसिटी? v मैक्सिमम. बेटा ये क्या हो गया? रिटार्डेशन हुआ है. तो v is equals to u minus at होता है. बेटा क्या होता है? माइनस. रिटार्डेशन के लिए एक्सेलरेशन क्या होता है बेटा? माइनस. What is the retardation? Beta. And what is the time? t2. Minus from this side ये क्या होगा? Plus beta t2 is equals to v maximum. तो बेटा t2 is equals to क्या हो गया? v maximum by beta. v maximum by beta. ये सेकंड क्वेश्चन हो गया. v maximum by t2 is equals to v maximum by beta. ये इक्वेशन हो गया बेटा. t2 is equal to बीटा प्रोडक्ट में बेटा ये नीचे आएगा, ये डिवीजन हो जाएगा. अब बेटा देखिए यहां पर बेटा वेट 1 मिनट. t1 और t2 गिवन है. ये t1 एंड t2 गिवन है. बेटा इनका दोनों का सम क्या हो गया बेटा? t1 प्लस t2 का सम t गिवन है. बेटा इन प्लेस ऑफ t1 हम लिख सकते हैं v मैक्सिमम बाई अल्फा. बेटा क्या लिख सकते हैं, v मैक्सिमम बाई अल्फा,
Yes.
v मैक्सिमम अपॉन अल्फा। बेटा T2 की जगह लिख सकते हैं v मैक्सिमम अपॉन बीटा, v मैक्सिमम अपॉन बीटा इज इक्वल्स टू t, इज इक्वल्स टू t। तो बेटा यहाँ पर
Okay.
आप देखिए, यहाँ पर बेटा आप देखिए इसको, बेटा अगर v मैक्सिमम को कॉमन है 1 बाई अल्फा प्लस 1 अपॉन बीटा आ जाएगा,
Yes.
इक्वल्स टू t। बेटा एलसीएम ले लेंगे तो ये क्या आ जाएगा, v मैक्सिमम, एलसीएम लीजिए बेटा अल्फा बीटा, बेटा डिफरेंट है तो प्रोडक्ट और क्रॉस क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई, बीटा प्लस अल्फा इज इक्वल्स टू टी। तो v मैक्सिमम तो आ गया बेटा, v मैक्सिमम इज इक्वल्स टू, ये इधर चला जाएगा बेटा, डिवीजन में जाएगा तो या डिवीजन में चला जाएगा, ये रेसिप्रोकेट करेगा तो t इंटू अल्फा बीटा बाई अल्फा प्लस बीटा आ जाएगा, ये आंसर। बेटा v मैक्सिमम आ गया, ये v मैक्सिमम आ गया बेटा। बेटा इस ग्राफ का टोटल टाइम बेस दिया हुआ है, तो टोटल डिस्टेंस मूव बाय द बॉडी इज हाफ इनटू बेस, व्हाट इज बेस, t total time, and what is height, v maximum, in place of v maximum you put t into alpha beta by alpha plus beta, this is the total distance moved by the body। Beta if any graph is given to you and over the y-axis acceleration is given, over the x-axis time is given, and this graph is given to you, this is time t। Now, so beta if you are given the graph between acceleration and time, and it is given that value of acceleration is 20 meter per second square and time is 0 to 5 seconds is given. Now, what is the area below the graph? Area below the graph half into base into height. What is base? 5. And what is time? What is height? 1. Now, what does this represent? What does this area represent? बेटा मैंने बताया था आपको, जब भी ग्राफ का नीचे का एरिया आएंगे बेटा ये दोनों को प्रोडक्ट करते हैं, a इंक्लूडिंग। बेटा ये फॉर्मूला होता है a इज इक्वल टू v माइनस u अपॉन t होता है बेटा। हमने a और t को प्रोडक्ट किया, बेटा हमारे पास क्या आया, चेंज इन वेलोसिटी। क्या आया बेटा, चेंज इन वेलोसिटी।
Yes.
तो if a graph is given to you, then the area below the graph represent, if there is a graph of area and time between acceleration and time is given, then by determining the area below the graph, that is area below the acceleration time graph, you can determine what change in velocity of the body. So we can write the area below the area below acceleration time graph represents change in velocity of the body. Change in velocity of the body. Change in velocity of the body. बेटा ये रहे आपके एक्सेलरेशन से रिलेटेड, ग्राफ से रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम। अभी तो बहुत तरह के ग्राफ हैं जिसके बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे, बट उससे पहले व्हाट आर द different equation of motion for uniformly accelerated motion? But what is uniformly accelerated motion? If the rate of change of velocity? Uniform accelerated motion. Uniform accelerated motion. Let us see here, this is the graph for uniform acceleration. This is the velocity axis. This is the time axis. At time 0, what is the velocity? U. And at time t,
Yes.
what is the final velocity of the body? V. Now you know that beta, slope of the graph represent what? Acceleration. Why it is called uniform? Because the slope of the graph is remain constant. But it indicates that how we can give the example. If you are riding on a car and in the you start from rest or you start from 5 meters per second. After 1 second, the speed of the car becomes 10. After 2 seconds, it becomes 15. After 3 seconds, it becomes 20. After 4 seconds, it becomes 25. After 5 seconds, it becomes 30. It means what? In after every 1 second, the velocity of your car is increased by fixed amount. That is 5 meters per second. So if the speed of the body either increases or decreases by fixed amount in every 1 second, either the speed is going to increase by fixed amount, the speed of the body decreases by fixed amount. Such type of acceleration is called uniform accelerated motion or uniform acceleration. In that case, the slope will be positive if the velocity goes on increasing with the same rate, and the slope will be negative. The slope will be negative if the velocity of the body goes on increasing with the same rate. Now, in this case, we can write A is equals to dV. dV is constant. Here, beta, this slope is constant. So A is what? Uniform. That is, A is constant, and the motion is called uniform. Uniform means constant. Acceleration is constant. Slope is constant. In velocity time graph, slope is constant. Now it's here, beta. dV is equals to A u dt. Beta, integrating both sides. Integrating both sides.
Both.
But integration means, I have already told you, integration means total change. What is the total change in velocity? Acceleration constant. So we put acceleration outside the integration side. What is the total change in time? Let the initial time be t1 and final time be t2. What is the change in velocity? U or v1 to v2, like this. So what is the integration of dv? But yesterday I have told you integration of dx is x. Similarly, integration of dv is v. Put mod sign, lower limit v1, upper limit v2. A, integration of dt is t, lower limit is t1, upper limit is t2. Now, better put upper limit v2 minus lower limit. Power is 1. A is constant. Now, here, what is the final velocity? V. What is the initial velocity? U. A. What is the final time? T, according to the graph. What is the initial time? Initial time is 0. So, minus sign come this side. V is equals to U plus A T. This is known as the first equation of motion. चलिए जान अब चलते हैं. ये बच्ची ना अभी ज्वाइन नहीं की है लगता है. बस अभी रुक जाइए.